final MRF Challenge weekend of the 2016-2017 season continues here at the Madras Motor Race Track, the Irungothkotai circuit at Sriperumbudur in Chennai, and this is the grid forming up ready to go for the final saloon car race of the weekend. It is a grid that stretches way back to the last corner. It is a grid made up of cars with an upper engine size of 2.2 litres, some from the Esteem Cup, the Suzuki Esteems. They're a kind of booted Suzuki Swift. Others come from what is called Superstock, which is the miscellaneous saloon entry, and then there's a couple in the Indian junior touring car class as well. David Addison trackside, down on the grid, Louise Beckett.
Yes, I am down on the grid and I'm in P4 spot. Narendran, good race for you yesterday. What's possible for you today?
I will try my level best to be on top.
Can you get ahead?
What?
Can you get ahead?
Yeah, definitely I'll do that.
Okay, I'll leave you to it and I'll make my way over to the number 79, Anant Pitawala. The window is up. Is door opening? You're okay to speak? Engine's on, so we'll try and get a word. You have got quite a bit of work to do, but I'm sure you can do it, can't you?
Yeah, I'll try my best, actually.
Okay, thanks very much. We'll go down to the front row now and speak to Varun Aneka. Varun, just the last moments before the race starts, looking ahead, what is possible?
I've got the best seat in the house, the inside line to the first corner, so hoping I can take it and not look back. Yeah.
All right, well, we look forward to seeing that. And finally, number 14 is at P1. It's Raja. Hello there. So, you've got the outside line. Yeah. It's all going to be in that start, isn't it?
Yep. So, yeah, we are the fastest of the qualifying as of now. So, we are planning for the win over here. So, yeah.
They're all going to be hunting you down behind, though.
Yeah, there will be a good fight for the first 3 laps. So, yeah, planning for all to be in a normal way.
Great, thanks very much. So, first 3 laps. I'm just going to have a look around and see who else we can speak to. And we can speak to the chairman of the event, Vicky Chanduk. What a weekend this has been.
It's incredible. I think for a long time, we haven't had this kind of hype or the kind of celebrity endorsement or this kind of racing for that matter. So I think all said and done, it's been a fabulous weekend. And, you know, having Sachin here, having the MRF Challenge, finishing with the National Championship, the 1600, the 1300, and these noisy guys now are ready to go out. So, you know, we've got it all today, and I just love it. I just love it.
It's special for you here to hold this at the circuit, isn't it?
Oh, yeah. What was the question about the circuit? Right, yeah, you know, we've done a lot of upgrade since we spoke last, I think last year at the event. We've had the circuit resurfaced, we've got the new paddock coming up soon. We've got, you know, all the curbstones done. We're building a drag strip up here. Next time when you come, we'll have proper garages like, anywhere internationally. So constantly there's an upgrade process that's going on, and which makes it so exciting. I mean, I spend a lot of my time now here, okay, and I'm glad I can, and I think we're in for, you know, pleasant surprises.
And the times are coming down, aren't they, as well?
2.8 seconds today, okay, so that says it all. As long as the cars are going quicker, I'm absolutely thrilled, okay, we're obviously doing something right.
We've got the Superstocks now in the Esteem Cup, but looking ahead to race 4, the MRF Challenge for the Formula 2000s, what do you expect for that?
I do think that Joey Mawson is going to probably take it easy if I was him. He's got a 12-point lead over Harry, okay, and Mick is not in contention for first place. So it's going to be a fight between these two. I think it's going to be close. It's going to be very close.
These cars are getting very loud down here, so I think we should get going. Thanks very much, Vicky.
So Vicky Chanduk, racer himself, racing dad, Karun's father, chairman of the event, the driving force behind not just the Madras Motorsports Club, but also the governing body of the sport in India. He was instrumental in the Indian Grand Prix, for example, and the land on which the circuit is based is owned by his father, and he then donated it to the Madras Motorsports Club. So the Chandhoks and the circuit are intrinsically linked. And Vicky has big plans for this place that is operational now. Can you believe this? 320 days a year with not just race meetings, obviously, but some testing for local teams, corporate events, manufacturer days. And there are plans now to make the two circuits be able, a bit like Silverstone can do, for example, run independently, have an east and a west circuit with permanent buildings, pit lanes, race controls at both. So this a circuit that is set for a very bright future. How's that for a grid? Looking all the way back down to the final couple of cars, where Keith D'Souza and Rohit VRR should be at the back of the grid. I say should be because we've had quite a bit of damage to a few over the weekend. If you see a yellow Suzuki Esteem, number 32, which is the car of Chandresh Tolia, give a big cheer, because yesterday it didn't look feasible for it to turn a wheel, never mind race, but he dragged it to the end of race 1, and let's see whether it can escape without too much damage. You might not be able to tell the damage because it might not have been easily patched up, but it has just gone past me, and it looks, I can't say as good as new, but it looks an infinite lot better than it did yesterday. It had, you'll see it in a moment, going through turn 1 there, the yellow car. It had so much rear damage yesterday, it was almost beyond recognition. But something yellow has been put on the back of it, and it's kind of Esteem shape once again, ready to go into battle for the final time this weekend. In qualifying yesterday, we had 2 cars roll, one of which was driven by Sudanan Daniel Rajan. He started 26th, he finished 5th, and that's where he will start this race. So it's going to be fascinating to see how he gets on now that he's up at the pointy end of the grid. Number 21 there, going through the Honda, is Kamlesh Parmar, one of the drivers in the Junior Championship, and Keith D'Souza, who starred in the Junior Championship in 2016, he will start this race on the back row, having had an off yesterday. He started yesterday's race on the front row. So it is RP Rajarajan who will go from pole, with Varun Anika alongside him. Anna Pitawala is 3rd. Narendran S, yesterday's winner, the South India driver, is 4th on the grid ahead of Sudanan Daniel Rajan. Then Srinivas Teja K. Sri Venkat Teja is next. He was out in the Formula 1300s early on. Sri Hariran comes next ahead of Viresh Prasad and Deepak Ravi Kumar. Prasad yesterday was going well until he was knocked into a spin by Keith D'Souza, so he could be one to watch. Vineet Abahim is next ahead of Imran Abdul Majid. Aditya MN is ahead on the grid of Hisham EKP in the Toyota, the one Toyota in the entry. Former drag racing champion Vinod S goes from 15th ahead of Kamlesh Parmar, Kasha Sai. Then it is Jagdeshraj Narendran ahead of Chandresh Tolia's repaired-ish car. Swaji Achareka is 20th on the grid. Behind him, there is Arjun Zaveri and Ragul Rangasamy, who has been out in single-seaters earlier on today as well. Keith D'Souza and Rohit VRR are on the last row of the grid, and hopefully Rajashekar will be 25th. Mohammed Faisal Kuthi's car rolled beyond recognition and repair in qualifying. Number 9, though, I'm still rather doubtful it's going to be there, having missed the majority of yesterday's race. Rajashekar only did about 4 laps, but we'll see whether he is at the back of the grid. 18 there is the Honda in the hands of Vineet Abhiram, who's got a little bit of work to do, starting as he is on the 6th row. This is an 8-lap race. All the mayhem seems to, no, I'm tempting fate by saying this, a lot of the mayhem seemed to have got out of the system of drivers, because yesterday's race wasn't quite as bruising as anticipated. But, well, this is the last race of the weekend for them, so we'll see. And if tradition of touring car races, final run of a weekend is anything to go by, hang on to your hats. Number 9 is missing from the back of the grid, so there's the last car, Rohit VRR. Drivers, people from southern India, take the initial of their father's surname, so hence the likes of Rohit VRR or Narendran S, yesterday's winner in number 77, Narendran Shankar. Narendran is how he calls himself for the purposes of racing, and 8 laps in prospect. 5 lights will go red, all the lights will go out, and then Louise made the point on the grid, very noisy cars will buzz their way down to turn 1. Hopefully they'll all come out the other side. Don't hold your breath. Grid formed, 5-second board will be shown, and then the drivers look towards the lights. 3 of them, 4, 5 lights are red, lights go out. Now we're racing, lots of wheel spin from the poleman, Rajarajan, and that means a good start made by Varun Anika up on the inside line. He gets a bit of a squeeze, 2 wheels on the dirt, but he keeps on coming. It's going to be Anika who leads down to turn 1, with Rajarajan, who lost a wheel in the qualifying session yesterday morning, slozzing in behind him in 2nd place. Round turn 1 they go. Up the inside in 77 goes yesterday's winner Narendran. He's under attack from Rajan in 64. And Pitawala in number 79 goes round the outside. And so far so good. They've all done a corner. Most have done 2, some have done 3, and they battle their way now out onto the full international circuit. There's the Esteem 55 there of Vinod S, which had a few spins yesterday, makes its way out now towards the S's for the first time. But towards us comes the race leader, Varun Anika, trying to break away from the opposition. Narendra and S there, 77, keeping Pitawala at bay in the 2S Steams as they wriggle their way up through the S. A big slide from one of the Honda Cities behind as the cars now work their way out of turn 6 and 7 for the first time, and actually getting away, I would propose, is Anika up front. The gap just widening ever so slightly between him and the rest of them. The yellow car in the background of Chandresh Tolia battles on. These might not necessarily be the smartest of touring cars, but they do deliver plenty of lively racing. Up front then, Varun Anika it is who leads the way. Brave effort around the first couple of corners, but have a look behind, because as he loses it, gets all sideways. Narendran was making a bid for second place. The leader hangs on to a big slide, but look, Narendran does go second, and he's now going to make a bid for the leaders. Anika sorts himself out after a big moment there, coming into turn 8. So suddenly they've all bunched up, there are cars all over the place, and Narendran is a man on a mission. Looks for the inside line down at the kink at the approach to turn 10. Can't do it, so Varun Anika over the curve onto the dirt leads. Narendran outside line at turn 10, he wants the inside for turn 11. Is he going to be able to do it? Close, but not quite. Rajarajan comes next in the queue, then Pitawala in 4th spot. Over the brow they come. Rajarajan attacks Narendran for second place. That takes the pressure off Varun Anika a little as they work their way now up over the timing line, but the leader runs out wide over the grass on the outside line of the corner. Narendran is second, Rajarajan is third, Pitawala is fourth, fifth is Rajan, sixth is Viresh Prasad, whose car you'll see there has some tack tape on the left-hand side of its windscreen, and that was because, can you believe, it was rolled on top of by the errant Sudanan Daniel Rajan in qualifying. Number 1 for the Team Game Over squad is Imran Abdul Majid, and he currently runs 9th as the leaders now, we've got, 6 in a queue, work their way up around turn 3 for the second time of asking. I'm surprised we've not yet had more cars in more strange angles, but there's time enough yet. So lap 2 we work. The circuit you can see becoming a little bit more dusty and dirty as people bounce off the road and hop back on again. And now the man on the mission is Anand Pitawala, who goes up the inside of a sideways Rajraj, who's got it all wrong. He arrives backwards in shot. And I'm not entirely sure how that suddenly got away from him, but as he went down through the gears and braked for the S's, he just lost the back of it, round it went. And thankfully, didn't involve anybody else, but that could have been a big moment. So on they battle, lap number 2, and now it is becoming a 2-horse race, isn't it, between Varun Anika and Narendran S. There, yesterday's winner. He started 4th and has been able quickly to get himself into contention as the cars work their way now down towards turn 8 this time. In 3rd place then is Pitawala. In 4th should be Sudanan Daniel Rajan, and then it's Viresh Prasad running in now 5th place. For the lead, they're side by side, and this is Narendran making his move around the outside at turn 9. Is it going to work? Not there, but the inside line for the kink approaching turn 10 might be his, should be his, is his, so is the race lead. Narendran goes through, locks up a little bit, scrabbles down to turn 10, but a good brave effort that, and it all started 2 or 3 corners back, so through he has gone now, up into the lead. 79 over the brow. Anand Pitawala pushing as hard as he can. He's got Sudanan Daniel Rajan tucked up behind him next in the queue. They're hard at work as they come now out of turn 12 over the timing line. That is the end of only 2 laps of racing, but quite a lot seems to have happened. But Narendran, once he hit the front yesterday, was able to stride off into the distance. Is he doing it again today? Well, the gap, I suspect, is going to build, but not just yet, because Varun Anika is staying with him. Sudanand Rajan, there he is, 64, presses on. He's on the tail of Anand Pitawala now. Behind them is Viresh Prasad. They work their way up now towards the S's once more. So 88, Varun Anika, early leader, now eating the dust of the leading car, that of Narendran S, because as Narendran speeds up, there's one rolling in the background. Look, there's a big moment in the very background coming out of turn 3. A car off spectacularly. The leaders have battled their way up towards the turn 4-5 sequence, but the safety car is going to be on standby, I suspect, because there's been an incident in the midfield. So as 3rd and 4th go through, you've got Anand Pitawala ahead of Daniel Rajan. And the field sees off the road there Sri Venkatatija, who was racing in the Formula 1300s earlier on in the day. His performance racing Honda gets back on track. Up towards the timing line they come, and the safety car is being deployed as predicted. So the safety car boards and flags are being readied. So the race is going to be neutralised, and that means that Narendran's advantage is going to disappear. Anand Pitawala goes through. Behind him is Saloon Daniel Rajan, and safety car then on track as they work their way up to the end of lap 3. Narendran slows, the others now get the message. I thought for a moment Anika was going to chance his arm and get up the inside, but Narendran says, no, don't pass me, there's a safety car. That's why I told you it was a big roll in the background of the shot. That's a huge off. And it went and it went and it went. You could see in the background, if you just caught a glimpse of it, how many times it was going over. The driver is okay. I think it might be Rohit VIR, whose car is that colour, but I'm trying to work out which way up it might be. Anyway, the marshals are there, the medical team will be there, and it is Rohit VIR who has had the accident. Now, have a look in the dust, it's already rolling. Look at the red car mid-shot, and just above it is Rohit VIR, who goes over and ends up atop the barrier. And it had already been rolling, I promised you, coming into shot, because we'd caught a glimpse of it earlier, and it rocks on top of the barrier. But the good news is he's okay. That is where the car is parked now. So safety car brings them all together, and they make their way up towards the S's. Now, are they going to be able to get that car off the barrier, or are they going to have to leave it there, run the rest of the race, and then remove it in the remaining time? There is the car in question, bits of it put behind the barrier, and as soon as possible we'll get them back underway. But the best news of all is that Rohit VR is okay. Well, that really was a huge off, as you can see. So safety car works its way down towards turn 8, and keeping an eye on whether or not the officials want to stop this and move that car, but I suspect that they need to get this race run if they can, or at least get it to 75%, and then think about how they move that car post-race, because it won't be the work of a moment. Race order, Narendran leads the way, Varun Anika in second spot. Third is where you find Anand Pitawala. Fourth place, Saloon Daniel Rajan. Veeresh Prasad is fifth. Sixth is Srinivas Tejake. Seventh is Sri Hariram. And then Imran Abdul Majid ahead of Vinod S and Deepak Ravi Kumar in the top 10. So the boards are still there. Lovely background shot of ancient and modern saloons, isn't there, coming into the circuit? There's an ambassador there. So they've all bunched up. There's a good old saying about safety cars breeding safety cars. So you have an incident, everybody bunches up, but that then puts you at peril when the race is restarted, because you're all bunched up and you've got more cars around you. No joy. Over the timing line then comes Narendran, leading the way. So how many more laps are they going to have to do before the officials are happy? Certainly a slow pace as they go over the timing line. Everybody looking on from the MRF tower, and at the marshal's post right next to us, which overlooks the timing line. The safety car boards are being withdrawn. And the field turning its way now up around turn 3. So all of this while Rohit VR's car is attended to. Replay of the start. Rajan from his pole position didn't make a great start, tried to move across on Varun Anika, gave him a squeeze, but Anika, 2 wheels on the grass on the inside, kept on coming, gained the place on the inside of the road and scrabbled through at turn 1. Field safely around the first corner. Bad start by Chandresh Tollier as well, I noticed. He seemed to bog down and lose places on the run towards the first corner. There it is from another angle. Rajarajan moves across on Anika in the white car, who is undaunted and accelerates back through to take the place once more. Gets the lead at turn 1. From the high shot, another couple of cars being a little bit slow away, but good defensive driving. Didn't quite work out for Rajarajan, who after his dramas on the first lap, his spin has dropped down into 15th place now. Too much wheel spin, I think, as the car accelerated away from the line. Another one that was a little bit slow away, possibly, just looking down on the grid, was Sri Venkateja. Green flag's ready, so we should be back to racing this time around. Drivers talking about what was going on out on track. One that has just pitted, Arjun Zaveri. Not a happy man, but some of these cars are going to need an awful lot of work, I think, before the next round of their championship. The national racing calendar continues throughout the calendar year, rather than just the MRF challenge for the 2 litres, which is this mini winter series, if you like, over these 4 events at the end of 16, start of 17 seasons. So the green flags wave at the end of lap 5. We go racing again, and it is Narendran looking to do the double this weekend, who leads them away ahead of Varun Anika and then Anand Pitwala in 3rd place. Surinam Daniel Rajan comes next in the queue, and then behind him there is Viresh Prasad, and it's those 5 really getting away from Srinivas Tj, who I dare to say was a little bit asleep on the restart. He wasn't with everybody else. One driver in trouble there, that was Ragul Rangasamy with his hand out of the window with a problem. There was also a very spectacular Chandresh Tollier running wide onto the dirt as they go past this sobering sight of Rohit VIR's car on top of the barriers. So as the leaders work their way up towards the S's then for this restart lap, lap 6 of 8. The last car running. It is Narendran S that leads the way. Varun Anika in 2nd spot. Anand Pitwala is 3rd, but dropping away just ever so slightly. But the way that Narendran went before we had that safety car period suggests that he's going to be very, very hard to stop in this now. He was pretty much invincible yesterday, and even starting from 2nd on the grid, even a safety car doesn't seem to have phased him at all as the field now turns its way through turns 6 and 7. They're number 1 in the team game over entry, Imran Abdul Majid. And the race leader Narendran comes down now towards the approach to turn 10. More battles rage on lower down, including 75, Sri Hariram, who's looking to get one more place back out of all of this. There, look, is now Majid on the tail of the recovering Vinod S. So Vinod S gaining ground in this race now. Falling back, so to say, is Imran Abdul Majid as the field works its way to the kink at turn 10. Chandresh Tollier, after a duff start, has certainly made good. He's also working his way back up the order. The Suzuki Esteems that have their own race within a race. As I said earlier on, you've got these 3 categories, the super stock, you've got the Esteems, and then the junior touring cars as well. All adding to a busy grid and a lively race, the leader of which, Narendran S. Narendran Shankar comes over the line ahead of Varun Anika. Then in 3rd place, Anand Pitwala. 4th is Surinam Rajan. Viresh Prasad is 5th. Then a bit of a gap back to the 2nd race, as it were, now, because Srinivas Tj there in the silver car just ahead of Sri Hariram. And then it is Vinod S. Then off the road is number 16, and so the Honda gets going, but time lost, I'm afraid, for Aditya MN. He loses another place as up the inside goes 05, which is Swajit Achakera, and also off now has gone Imran Abdul Majid down at turn 1. Into the pit lane has just come Ragul Rangasamy, who we'd seen out on track with a problem, going slowly. But the leaders turning their way out of the S's, headed by Narendran. He's on his 7th of 8 laps. I think 1 or 2 of these drivers will just be relieved to get to the end, because it has been a particularly destructive weekend. But Surinam Rajan, whose qualifying session started with a roll, the weekend has got better and better. He has not given up yet. He could yet be on the podium. He's closing on Anand Pitwala. Now, this might explain what happened to Majid down at the first corner, but it explains why he was on the grass. Certainly, he arrived backwards. Big lose coming into the corner. Perhaps a bit too hard, too late on the brakes. The car loses traction, spins, and now tries to restart it and rejoin the race. Narendran leading the way. He's not stormed off into the distance, but he does lead. They're going through number 10, Viresh Prasad. Field now about to start the final lap. Anand Pitawala turning his way through. He was the runner-up in yesterday's race, but he's coming under attack. He is in turn attacking Varun Anika, but he's got right up behind him there Saloon and Daniel Rajan as they head over the brow down towards turn 12. So these three very evenly matched indeed now. Rajan's car certainly showing the scars of battle. He rolled coming out of turn 1 and, as I said early on, ended up atop briefly Viresh Prasad's car. So from the pit lane you take your photos looking out, and the leaders go by to start the last lap. Now what else does this race have in store for us? We've had some spectacular racing throughout. There is 55, which is Vinod S. He runs 8th now. Petrol Kappa flapping as he goes around turn 1, and having got going from the grass at turn 1, so Imran Abdul Majid tried to join Rohit VRR by going wide, coming towards the kink out of turn 3. Survived it, carries on. Narendran leads the way. Varun Anika is second in third. He's Pitawala. Daniel Rajan for the podium. He's not given up. He's there in 4th place, half a lap to run as they turn through the S's now up to the turns 4 and 5. A replay of 21, Kamresh Palmer going off at the first corner. The Honda gets back on track and goes around. So a spin, he recovers and rejoins, but time and place is lost. And Kamresh Palmer, one of those in the Junior Championship. It's going in the right direction. The car's effectively Group N, production saloon spec, so limited modifications, keeping the costs down. Body repairs, I think, account for most of the bill rather than the level of modification, but that's why 1 or 2 of them continue racing with the dents on them, because budgets are not high for many of these races. But it's a good entry-level category for those that don't want to go the open-wheeler route, and the grids build every year as there, and Pitawala puts the pressure very definitely onto Varun Anika now as they wriggle their way out of turn 10. The checkered flag is being made ready for Narendran S, who's going to come through for a second win of the weekend. Crests the rise, past the haulage yard on the outside of turn 12. Pit straight beckons that runs parallel to the main road, and the checkered flag is waved as Narendran wins for the second time this weekend ahead of Varun Anika. Third goes to Anand Pitawala, and 4th Sunanand Rajan, with Viresh Prasad coming through for 5th place. 6th over the timing line, Srinivas Tija K. Arsha Hararam is 7th, Vinod S 8th, and then there's a bit of a gap back before, oh dear, Chandresh Tolia has not come through. The yellow car should have been next, but has not survived the last lap. Where's he gone to? It means that 10th is Deepak Ravi Kumar. There in the background is Chandresh Tolia, but more places lost on that last lap. The driver's door wing mirror hanging off. It was like that yesterday. I'm not sure whether that's fresh damage or not, in fairness. Number 3 behind is Hisham EKP. Behind him is Kasha Sai, who also had a moment in that race. But a great job done by Narendran to score that second win of the weekend. He comes through victorious by 1.6 seconds, and safety car period bunching up the field, but not really affecting his chances. So Narendran will go to Parc Ferme area. We'll have a chance to hear from our double race winner. And the winning margin 1.6 seconds over Varun Anika. Anand Pitawala bagging 3rd place. And Sunanand Rajan gave it his best shot, but just couldn't quite find his way onto the podium. But as I say, he tried and tried and tried. Best news of all those that Rohit VRR is safe and sound after his incident. So for Narendran, a job well done. 2 out of 2 in the Saloons. He makes his way now down the pit road. Confirmation of the way they came across the line. Narendran S, the winner from Varun V. Anika. Anand Pitwala takes 3rd, Sunand Rajan 4th, and Viresh Prasad rounds out the top 5. Out gets Narendran. Very happy man, very happy team. Behind Varun Anika, steps out of his car. And Anand Pitwala there as well. There is also, I think I'm right in saying, Viresh Prasad, who will be the first driver home in the Superstocks. Well, he not, because all the others are Esteem Cup drivers. So let's hear from our winners. Louise Beckett is down there.
Narendran, you said on the grid you could do it, and you did. Did you enjoy that?
A lovely race, and the only man behind me is my very close friend and my best tuner, Mr. Radha Silvaraj. It's all because of him I'm here today, and I will always say this.
That's very kind of you to say thanks. Right, I'm going to work my way down and see where Varun is. Varun, do you have a quick moment? Well done.
Thank you.
A good result.
Yeah, kind of after the qualifying and the first race, we're pretty happy with the second spot.
Did you think after that safety car that maybe you could try and pull it back?
For a moment, yes, I did think, but I was happy with second.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks very much. Anand Pitwala, 3rd spot there. How was it?
It was good. Couldn't match these guys today. So settled for 3rd today.
Tough work out there?
Yeah, it's a little hot so compared to yesterday. So a little bit more tired inside the car, So in the safety car and that accident and everything, lost a bit of momentum also, with these guys. So
What did you think when you saw that car?
I was just hoping the driver is safe, So so we looked around a little bit and then they gave us a thumbs up. So we said driver's safe, so it's fine. Yeah. So
Good for you. Okay, I'll let you cool down and refresh and celebrate.
And Narendran, the happiest of all, with his 2nd win of the weekend. It might be the most modest car in a sense. I mean, it has only the championship regulation stickers, but it's a very effective piece of kit nonetheless, and it's taken him to 2 wins this weekend. Let's have a look at the highlights then. It was the car of Rajan that was on pole position, but it wasn't long though before Varun Anika squeezed up the inside. Anand Pitwala in 3rd spot, and then riding shotgun was Sunanand Daniel Rajan. Anika's advantage disappeared really midway around the 1st lap. He had that big slide going through turn 8. He recovered, but it left him easy prey to Narendran, who before long was up with him. And Rajan, having started on pole, lost it going down towards the S's, slithered off onto the grass. It took him quite a long while to rejoin. So now Daniel Rajan was busy trying to attack, but off the road spectacularly, went right at VRR. He was okay, but the safety car was deployed to make sure that he was okay. The car wasn't in too dangerous a place, and that the barriers didn't need attention. When the race resumed, it was Narendran who continued to build up the advantage, and the battles raged on behind. Although for Vinod S, he ended up gaining a few places behind him. Malik dropped down. 21, the curb hopping Kamlesh Palmer had a spin, and ahead of him, rotating, was Aditya MN. He was drawn right the way to the very end though, was off slithered. Car number 1 of Imran Abdul Majid. He was able to get himself back into the right direction, only to try again. He rally crossed his way in the end to 19th place. Kamlesh Palmer, having been wheel lifting and curb hopping, then decided to explore the grass. Had a different look at turn 1. He got himself going once again and rejoined, albeit down for 17th place. Narendran it was then who took the race win. Varun Anika securing 2nd, Anand Pitwala in 3rd in another hectic saloon car race for the Indian Junior Touring Car Series, the Superstocks, and the Esteem Cup. It's the penultimate race of our MRF Challenge weekend here in Chennai, and it's the 2nd win of the weekend for Narendran S. Just one more race still to enjoy, and it is going to be then for the MRF Challenge 2-litre cars that will come out on track for their championship showdown a little bit later. From Louise Beckett and David Addison for now. Bye-bye.